Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Jasmine and I'm new to YouTube. So today's video is gonna be my advice slash my experiences going through U.S. Army recruiting, MEPS, reception, and basic training. I'm gonna break this down into a two-part video. So the first part of this video will be a recruiting and a MEPS experience. The next one for the next video will be reception and my take on basic training. So guys, if you are done with me talking, please continue on with this video and let's learn a little bit, shall we? Because we all can learn from this experience. Alrighty, see you guys in a minute. Bye. My experience when I had to go see a recruiter. I went to the Boston area because I am from Boston, so I went to downtown Boston to go see a recruiter. I'm not gonna say the recruiter's name. I'm not gonna say who you should talk to because you guys can be coming from all over the place and you guys can see your own recruiters in your own neighborhoods. Okay, my advice is be calm. Read before you go there. You know, get some experience through YouTube. Watch other people's basic training experiences because I didn't do that and I should have, but it's okay. Key thing, like this is key, guys. Write down questions that you may have regarding, you know, status, regarding if you're a legal immigrant, kids, if you have a wife, a husband, or anything. Make sure you write those questions down, and then when you go see your recruiter, you can just ask them because they will ask you, hey, do you have any questions for me today? Do you feel any nervousness about what's going on? And if you do, that's fine, because going to the Army is really, really scary, guys. Let me tell you, it's scary. But for sure, write down any questions. Like that's key. And I should have done that the first time and I didn't. So that's fine. When you get there, once you ask the questions and once they give you the pre-qualifying questions, like they'll ask you, have you ever been enlisted before? Have you ever been overseas? Have you ever been in a different military? All these questions. So they'll ask you pre-qualifying questions. And if you pass the pre-qualified test part, they'll ask you more questions. They might have you sign a couple things, just, you know, basic information, your name, where you live, who's your emergency contact. Do you have somebody that depends on you straight out of high school? Well, it took me a year, so whatever. Straight out of high school, only because the test that they give you is called the ASVAB, which just basically test your skills, your knowledge on everything. When I say everything, it covers math, it covers
science, it covers, wow. Did you guys hear that? I said cover. Is that even a word? Anyway, let's forget about that non-word word there.
They cover mechanics, they cover electricity, they cover some plumbing, they cover some shape. Those will be the questions on the ASVAB. Definitely, I would say if you have to, go to the library, go study, go do your research before going in, because the first time I went through Army, I didn't do that. And I should have, because it would have made my score probably higher than it is now. So yes, when you go to your recruiter, they have a practice test that's maybe 25 minutes long. It's kind of the same thing as the real one. It just tests, it's a little bit harder. So if you pass your practice test at your recruiter's office, you might pass the actual real one. The real one though takes a while. Like that testing, I've never been in such a long test
Ever in my life.
Except when I went to take the ASVAB. Like it was so long for no reason. Granted, you have to know almost everything in order to pass that. There is a qualifying score in order for you to get into the branch of military that you want to get into. I believe the Army's, I want to say their qualifying score, like a score you have to pass in order to get in, is maybe a 35. Don't quote me on that. You guys definitely have to do your research. But I passed it. I probably could have done better. it was just such a scary environment. Like, you have these computers in front of you, and then you have people all around every side of the room. There's also a teller in there. I'm gonna say teller or clerk or whatever, who you give either your ID or your social security card to in the beginning of the test. That way, if you do cheat, they know who's cheating and where they're cheating from. When you're done, they'll have the printout of your score. If you pass, they'll send you into a different room to sit and wait for everybody else to get done, or at least everyone from your recruiter's office will be done. Once that happens, then everybody will go back to their recruiting office and they'll talk about their scores if need be. You know, if anybody needs any extra help, or if anybody didn't make it that really wanted to get into the Army, they would have to take it again. But with retaking the ASVAB, I believe there is a wait time. Like, hey, and make sure you know what you're trying to get into. If you want to go active Army, if you want to go reserved Army, if you want to go Coast Guard, or you want to go National Guard, it's all up to you. National Guard and Coast Guard, I believe both have a reserve unit. So if you don't want to go full-time Coast Guard, you can definitely go reserves. Other than that, I say don't sign anything until you know for sure this is what you want to do, because getting into the Army is easy. Trust me, it is. All it is a sign of a name, and, you know, yes, I'm gonna do this and surrender my life to the country type of thing. But getting out is hard. Like, when I got out because of different reasons, and I will put that in a separate video, it was hard. Like, it took me a while to get out, actually. February, it took me about 2 months to get out of the Army. It took me about 2 weeks to get in there, but it took me 2 months to make sure my whole life was out of the Army. Other than that, I say don't sign anything until you are completely satisfied on this is what you want to do. Make sure that your parents know. Make sure that, you know, everybody is supporting you. Make sure that you have enough, can't stress this enough stuff packed with you for reception and basic training. Other than that, let's get on to the MEPS part of this video. Now, when you go to MEPS, MEPS is a separate building. It is not your recruiting office. It is not your doctor's office. It is a separate government building where you will go, you will see a whole bunch of Army. You will see a whole bunch of Navy. You will see almost everybody from different branches of the military in that single building. Do not speak. If you have to give eye contact, do it for a brief second, as long as somebody is talking to you and you are talking back. Do not speak out of turn, because they will yell at you. Trust me, you are not in the Army yet, but they really highly just frown on that, honestly. There's no talking once you get in there, because that's where you also take your ASVAB test. That's where people go to get their physicals done. That's where people go to get their eyes and ears checked. Like, you don't want to talk in there. If you talk, you will be scorned on. Trust me, you don't want that. Other than that, let's see. When the day before you go to MEPS, you will go to your recruiter's office. They will make sure you have an overnight bag. Trust me, you need that. All you need is a overnight bag, the clothes you're wearing on your back, a change of clothes to sleep in for when you do sleep over at the hotel, and a change of clothes for the morning, because that's when you are going to see your doctor. Unless your recruiter's office is doing it completely different. This was my experience, and this is my advice to you next time you try to join or you are joining. Make sure you have toothpaste, please, because a lot of people that went to MEPS with me, I swear, didn't pack toothpaste. They thought because we were going to a hotel it would have been fine. Yes, they do supply. If you go to the front desk, they'll also give you these mini bars of soap that's like this big. I brought my own toothbrush. They do give you toothbrush. They give you a comb if you ask for it. They give you you know, your toiletries for the night if you forgot. Let's see, once you go to MEPS, Trust me, you will be sitting there for hours. When I say hours, I am not exaggerating, because they have to see everybody one by one by one by one. Don't try to fall asleep. Even if you close your eyes briefly, just don't do it, because people there frown upon sleeping in a government building in front of military officials. They frown upon it so much. You better get used to not sleeping, because in reception and in basic training, you will not sleep at all. Trust me. Sleep is existent there. When you go to MEPS, you'll get your physical done. You'll get your eyes, your nose, your teeth, your mouth, your ears, your jaw, everything, your body will be looked at by a doctor. Now, females, if you are on your monthly menstrual, it is okay. Just make sure you have enough toiletries with you for that MEPS visit. If you are being seen by a doctor and she has to check your hoo-ha, tell her before if you are on your menstrual or if you are not, because they are going to be scooping all up in there. Heads up. Once you go to MEPS, your vulnerability is just out. It's just all out there. Everything is just all to be seen. Only by doctors. Only by doctors. You will also, when this happens, please, females, please do not wear any see-through thongs. Do not wear any thongs. Make sure that the underwear you are wearing covers every single thing, because they will kick you out, saying that you're too exposed, you're basically nude, and that's not what's gonna happen. If you have to, wear some running shorts, wear a sports bra, nothing with holes, nothing that has leaks, nothing too sheer and see-through. They will kick you out. They will tell you come back another day. When you get your physical done, they will be taking blood. They will be doing an eye test to make sure you're not colorblind, that you can see perfectly. When you get there and their doctor says, hey, do you have any questions? You can ask them about your health. Yeah, sure, go right ahead. But other than that, the doctors are probably going to tell you, hey, you're fine, you passed MEPS, blah, blah, blah. Go back to your recruiter. And once you get cleared from MEPS, you will go home. You will get a ship date. On that ship date, you need to be ready to go. Say your goodbyes within that month or however long they give you to, get ready. Do it. I say do it, because after that, there is no turning back. Once you get on that plane, forget about it. You are now property of the United States Army. All right, so first thing, meet a recruiter. Sleep on it. Sleep on it. Make sure you know what you want to do. Don't sign anything until you're satisfied. MEPS. Make sure you have everything you need for one night for MEPS. When you go to the hotel, try not to be up partying, whatever. You will get up early. You'll probably get up at 4:30 in the morning. So start getting used to that. You will definitely need to get used to that. Other than that, once you cleared by MEPS, go home. Start packing. Start getting some letters. Start getting some, what do you call those things? Envelopes and stamps. Envelopes and stamps. So that when you get there, you can, once you get to basic training, you can send out your address to your family, your friends, whoever you want you to write to you in basic training for those 10 weeks. Definitely you're going to need it. So this concludes part 1 of my Army recruiting MEPS reception basic training video. Alright guys, if you like this video, please smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, comment down below. Guys, comment if you're going to basic training, where you're going, and what's your ship date, so that we can all come together and join this beautiful U.S. Army.